Natalie Sideserf here of Sideserf Cake Studio, and I'm going to show you how I made a realistic lemon cake ball. I've made some cakes in the past that were a food that you guys really enjoyed. There was a pizza and blueberries and a banana, and I had some lemons hanging around, so I figured let's add a lemon to the list. Let's get started. All right, we're going to start out with some modeling chocolate, and I'm adding a little bit of gel food color in the color lemon yellow, which is perfect because we're making a lemon. I didn't need to add any other colors, which was nice. The lemon yellow matched the lemons perfectly. Now I match the actual chocolate to a lemon to make sure that I'm getting close to that shade of yellow. So I add a little bit at a time. Getting closer, I want it to be just slightly darker yellow, so I add one more drop. And they match. I like to do that in daylight too, because then you don't have the effect of, light bulbs messing with you. Because sometimes they have a little bit of a orangey hue or a bluish hue, and it can make color matching really difficult. Next, I'm going to roll out the modeling chocolate. I'm really paying attention to the thickness of the chocolate. You want it to be thick enough that you can create texture, but not so thick that it'll kind of be too much chocolate when you bite into it. I covered my chocolate peanut butter cake ball, because that's going to be funny because it looks like a lemon, right? And I covered that with the modeling chocolate. And I want to pick up the actual cake ball, wrap it around, and seal it up. And you can see the thickness of the chocolate here, so you have an idea of how thick you want to roll it out. I just pinch the pieces together, and then I'm going to cut off the excess skirt with scissors. Now that the cake ball is covered and already starting to kind of look like a lemon, I'm going to turn it over and start blending out the seams with a sculpting tool. I like to use the side of a rounded sculpting tool to do this, and since it's modeling chocolate, it's going to blend very easily. I just pinch the pieces together if they start to separate, and then blend them out with the tool. I'm leaving a little bit of that extra modeling chocolate at the end to create the lemon nub, because there is a nub at the end you can see of the real lemons, so I just make that right out of chocolate. I'm going to shape the lemon a little bit. They're not perfectly circle, just replicating the real lemons, and then close up the bottom. Sometimes I will just take some tin foil and kind of make it into like a cup shape, and that way I can place the lemon upright, and then I can sculpt based on that actual lemon. Now, keeping this simple is key. I didn't get too crazy with the details. I'm just trying to replicate the lemon. I don't want it to be exact. It doesn't have to look exactly like the real lemon, but just kind of borrowing certain areas and making sure that the end is similar in size is most important. I go in, there's some deeper areas and some that are a little bit softer. I think the variety makes it look more realistic, and they look pretty close. So now I'm going to roll some of that chocolate out into the end of the lemon, and I'm just going to pinch it off. It was just a little bit more chocolate than I wanted. And then I close it back up. So for the other end of the lemon, I just took a rounded tool, made a little mark, and again, I'm keeping it simple. I'm creating very, very light texture, but really just making sure that the size is the same as the real lemons is what you want to focus on. You don't want the end to be much bigger or much smaller. Just a little dot of modeling chocolate, that's just white modeling chocolate. I placed it on and pushed it in, and really that's all you need. I went in and added a few deeper areas in the lemon because if you look at the real lemons, they aren't perfect. There are some imperfections. They are kind of lumpy. So to add texture to your lemon, I actually used an orange peel because it has the same texture as the lemons and I wanted to keep my real lemons intact. You just take the orange peel or lemon peel and you press it directly onto the modeling chocolate and it will create that texture. It's a very simple, easy way. By putting plastic wrap down and then going in to add some little swirly marks and dots, it creates a softer mark than if I took the plastic wrap off. So I'm just kind of adding little dimples here and there. I wanted a little bit more variety than what just the orange peel was giving. I wanted a few more deeper areas that were sculpted by hand. And I even grabbed the lemon and pushed it right up against my cake ball lemon because it totally worked. You can see that my lemon is a little bit lighter than the two real lemons. So I went in with a very watered down food color mix of yellow and a little bit of orange, and I color matched. You don't want your food color to be opaque, you want it to be nice and translucent so the yellow underneath shows through. And some of that color is going into all the little marks I made. The ends of the lemon have a little bit of like a lime green hue. It's very, very subtle, but it really does make it look more realistic. So I added the lime green to both ends, and then a little bit of a dark brown. You just want the color to seep into the cracks. And then I added very, very tiny details, this little brown dot in the center of the lemon. So you can see that the real lemons have a little bit of shine to them and mine doesn't. So I microwaved some shortening for just a short amount of time until it was liquid, and then I went in and did a super light glaze of the shortening over top. What's nice about shortening is it's not super glossy, but it's not matte. It's going to create kind of a satin effect, and that's what these lemons look like. They're not overly glossy, it's more satin. And with the shortening, a little goes a long way, so you really don't have to use a lot, so it won't affect the taste. Finishing touches, I added a few more dimples to my lemon, a few little brown marks and areas that maybe looked like imperfections, just to make it as realistic as possible. And there you have it, a chocolate peanut butter lemon cake ball. Super confusing, but super fun.